Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to do another change video again today. I thought I'd do my little tiny twins, Harrison and Maddison, who are they're both Rufinet sculpts, and they are sort of reborn by what's her name? Barbara Rout. And I say I've had them in my nursery for quite a while, but I don't think I've done many videos of them. So I'll change little Madison first. So I'll move him to the side there, just slightly, so we can. Yeah. So today we're in England. We celebrate VE Day. It's marks 70. Today it marks 75 years of the World War II ending. So that's what most people are doing today. People are sort of celebrating how they can. You know, there's a few sort of bunting up and you know, obviously people in England are not self isolating, but you know, keeping the distance from you. Let me just pull it up. Oh, tatty, didn't you? Just keep your give that a quick brush because it is tatty. Yeah, so we're celebrating VE today, and so it's a bank holiday, and obviously give that just a tiny brush because it's yuppie. Yeah, so I'm gonna put them in this light fit. Let me turn it inside out. Not quite sure if I've used it before. It's like a little dungaree set. It's a pink velour. It says Bumblebee on it, and it's got like, they're quite short really, and not quite sure if I want to put this one on yet. And little top, white top, or I might do the buttons. Not quite sure. What should I do? Not quite sure what I did on the thingy. Might do the buttons and a little hat, a tiniest little hat. Look at the size of that. Tiniest little hat. But anyway, I'll put them in that today, and he's got the blue one and a pair of like inside out little premature socks. So we'll sort that out today. Here we go. So yeah, so here we go. And then so this little outfit is sort of I got it from, it's called little mouse clothing, and it sort of specifies in little, I think I've put this on before, I think I've mentioned it before. It sort of basically covers for a really tiny baby, and they're so helpful, and you know, they try and get out quick if you've got a premature baby. So that's what they are a really good sight, especially if you've got some tiny baby. If you're a little moaning, he wants his tea. That's what he wants. It's coming near tea time at 5 o'clock, and that's the dog I meant. It's moaning, not the baby. Yeah. So I was watching another site again. Susie Q. She had a sort of let me just pull this up a little bit. Ooh. She had a tag again about who your favourite teacher was. I sort of thought about it because sort of when I was at school, I mean, I don't know what the schools are across, you know. I went to like a Catholic school, and they were quite strict. We were often caned and ruler from, the minus little things, and even back in the sort of early, well, not early 70s, because I was born in 72, the mid 70s, late 70s, 80s, they were sort of we were the cane was used. That, and most of the teachers were pretty strict. But when I got to, say the best teacher we had. I think it sort of it was a sort of not just me. It was just everybody. Teacher. We were in junior 3, so we just been junior 2 was horrific. We had the. I'm not going to mention her name because it's not fair. Anyway, the horrendous teacher. She was horrid and she was horrible to everybody. So, then we had this teacher. His name was Mr. Clay, and he was quite funny. He he had a good sense of humour. He was nice to the children, and he used to make us act a lot. When we were meant to be working, do a lot of plays. Acting out things and things like that. So say everybody liked him, and I think that's the only one they did like. But halfway through the year, he left the school, and he went to another school. And again, we had the teacher that was in junior 2. Junior, I would have been, junior 2 is about junior 4 is 10, 11. No, yeah, 10, 11. So this would be 9, 10 years old. Yeah, so that's the age. Yeah, so he left, and we had this teacher again, because she moved up a class, and we had her again, to our disappointment. But when we left school, we went to the bigger school, senior school we call it, in when we were 11, we leave school, and you go up to the senior school when you're 11 here, and we had the wife of Mr. Clay, Mrs. Clay, her name was, and she was not strict, but she was like snooty. She was not very nice to she was like the same. So yeah, so we had her. So it was sort of it's sort of, but what I did sort of have when I was a child, I was must have been about when I was must have been 8, 9, 10, something like that. Again, we used to go to a first aid group, me and my sister, and the teachers there, the ladies that taught us the first aid back then, they were lovely. It really sort of changed my life. These two people who these two teachers they're really nice, and just recently she put a comment on Facebook on the site of Bristol, and I said, I asked her if she if she was the same lady, Mrs. Green, that taught the the first aid groups, because that's what she said. She said, oh, it was about a laundrette, a Chinese laundrette that used to be in Bristol, and she said, yeah. I go, oh, I remember you so well, and I showed her a picture. She goes, yeah, that's me. I don't think she remembered me, obviously, because she taught many students, obviously. But obviously, when I was 12, we moved away from Bristol, so that was the end of that. So the second question Susie Q said was, do you remember what was your first childhood memory? And again, two of them. I have two childhood memories, really, and sort of one being when I was about four, sort of like a nursery school, a playgroup, we used to sort of go to, and I remember being, quite sort of sad because my mother left me in this sort of group. Because I remember it being quite dark, this nursery, and just sitting there, while the other children were playing, and I just remember it being quite a dark nursery, because it used to go up the stairs, and it was like there's many old buildings in Bristol. There wasn't sort of back then, you used to have to go up the stairs to this nursery. Yeah, and that's the one of the most. Is it the wrong way? Now I have to turn your hair upside down. And the second childhood memory was being in hospital. I had an operation on my eye when I was 4, and I just started reception class, and I went for an operation, and I've been in hospital away from my mother because the parents didn't stay there back then. It wasn't sort of recommended, and just being wanting her, and someone asking, oh, do you want to come outside? Because I was a little outfit, and I said, no, I want my mummy, and that was that. But then again, in that same hospital, that same incident, my mum came to visit, and she bring in like a teddy. I just lost some socks. Socks gone, Mr. Man. I know I picked them up twice. Yeah. I've lost his socks. I quite like him out without socks actually now. Let's have a look. Yeah, my mum visiting and her bringing these, and my sisters came with her. I've got two older sisters, and they come with her, and they bought a little pink teddy, and this little teddy had you took this little jumpsuit off, and it had like stripy pajamas. The actual teddy looked like pajamas. Underneath, and another little they got me a little jumping dog. It was like battery operated, and it little move away, and it just do a turn. And I remember bringing that and being, quite happy about that. So yeah, that's my memories really. Let's just see if I can. I quite like his sock though. So yeah. Again with the market, Susie Q, sort of, one of my last post like stalk marks. Both these two have, you know, little stalk marks. Do I want socks on them or do I not? I quite like seeing feet. Should we leave them like that? We'll leave them like that for a second. We'll leave them like that for a little while. Then if I want to change their socks, I'll show you. Give me a look, and then that's their little outfits. And then so that's Harrison and the girly. And then here she is. She's sort of got her little mouth open a little bit. So yeah, there she is. That's a little outfit. So I've got quite a few outfits from this place. So it's hard to sort of. I haven't got many outfits from them because they're so tiny. I don't know if I want to put socks on you or not. Quite these socks are quite sort of big. They're like boots, aren't they? But really, the socks off. We'll leave them off. Really move them off because they got their little hats on. They got their little feet out. It's not sort of. I mean, it's quite a nice day today, so. And hopefully tomorrow I'm going to do the other twins because they haven't been done for a little while, and I thought I'd sort of normally he's like that and she's sort of quite curled in a little bit, so I sort of squish you in a bit. And he's got quite a sort of a what's the name head, but anyhow, squish you around. Yeah, there you go. So tomorrow or next 2 days I will do the bigger twins, Jordan, Gracie, because they need doing, and I will leave these two. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.